like an archaeological dig. The further down the basket I go, the further back in time I go. Hello friends, welcome to my channel about creating and using handspun yarn. My name is Lisa and you can find me pretty much everywhere on social media as the Soulful Spinner. I hope this Friday, April 3rd, 2020 finds you well and allowing you to find some time to do the things that you love to do. So I just wanted to pop in real quick and just say hello and give you a spinning update. And I promised last week a little peek at my handspun stash. If you're interested, I'm going to include that towards the end of the podcast. So how are you? I'm kind of itching to go out to a coffee shop and have coffee and a pastry and just, I'm kind of done with this quarantining. I don't mind being by myself during the day, but it's, I think it's going to get old really fast. I've been busy though. I've been busy with teaching this week. I've had to adapt all my lessons to online format, which has been challenging. I do think making the YouTube videos has been a little bit helpful because I figured out how to deliver instruction with a Chrome extension where I can record my lessons. So it's been challenging, and I'm glad it's the weekend coming up. So I hope you guys are well, and let's go ahead and jump right into what I've been up to. So I've been spinning in my free time. I think I mentioned last week I purchased some fleece roving from Laura Matthews from Psalm 23 Farm, and I finished these two bobbins of the Mango Passion, and then I got one bobbin of this purple. It's called Lilac Ice. And then I was looking for a neutral color in my stash, and I decided that I would card up some of my own. So I took some superfine Shetland roving, actually it's comb top from Jamieson and Smith. I took some mohair locks and some sparkle, and I created some bats, and they look like this. You can't really see, I don't think you can really, maybe you can see the sparkle a little bit here. I love spinning white. I know a lot of people love spinning colored roving, but for some reason I really love spinning just plain old ordinary white. I've got one bobbin, here it is. And it's so white you can't really see the sparkle, but it's definitely got the halo from the mohair. So I'm thinking I'm going to take these four colors. I've got the white, I've got the orange, I've got the pure purple, and then over here I've got this one here, and I'm going to do a shawl. I'm going to stripe it, I think. Yeah, I got some good feedback on Instagram. I posted a picture of all the colors, and a lot of people said that would be a nice shawl, so I think that's what I'm going to do. What else have I been working on? Well, as you know, if you live anywhere in the Midwest or the Northern Hemisphere, things are starting to warm up a little bit. Today is absolutely beautiful. It's 60s Fahrenheit, sunny, dry, and so of course this has got me thinking of fleece washing and fleece preparation. So I wanted to share with you a couple of acquisitions that I recently acquired. I'm not going to edit this out, okay? This is just me. So last summer I had purchased a fleece from Hubbard Handspun. Her name's Elizabeth Hubbard. She lives in Oregon, and she raises Corriedale. Well, I've purchased many of her fleeces before. I think 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I bought 4 in total. Last year I did a brown, and I came up with these skeins here of Aran weight. And this is a Corriedale, but it's I think it was an adult. It was not a lamb. And it's not super fine, but here's the locks here. So I still have a lot of this fleece to process, But of course, that didn't stop me from buying another fleece. So my latest fleece from her, and I'll show you the tag here. It's a lamb, and it's brown. But this fleece is way, 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 way finer than the other one. Here, I'll show you a lock here. Look, it's here. It's very, very fine. It's much finer than the other fleece, and you can tell. Typically, when fleece have a lot of crimp, that's usually a measure of fineness. So you can see this has got quite a fine crimp. Corriedale is considered a medium wool, though some people, I consider it medium to fine. I haven't got very far with this one, but now that it's warmed up, I'm going to be ready to wash this. But you know, a fresh fleece has got the most wonderful fragrance. And I think I've said this before. My grandfather, who was from Croatia, served in World War I, and always had a pipe. And he smoked this pipe, and this tobacco smell reminds me of this. It's like hay and sunshine, and it's just a wonderful... I know I'm a wool sniffer, but you know, you get it. If you've ever put your hands in a fresh fleece, you totally understand where I'm coming from. So how far have I gotten with this? Not very far. Let's see if I can find my little spindle here. And I did wash a lock. I just washed a lock and spun it on my spindle here. You see it's about fingering weight, and it's just a beautiful brown color. So I'm really looking forward to having some time and washing up that fleece, and I'll keep you updated. If you're interested in the process, I'll videotape some of my progress with that fleece. But I thought, now that I have you here, I would show you the fleece that I got last year. Now, Elizabeth doesn't have a website where you can just go and peruse fleeces and place an order. But if you reach out to her on Instagram, she will put you on a list, and when she gets fleeces available, she will contact you. So usually people have put their names in earlier. But she had a couple of lamb fleeces last year, and if you follow her on Instagram, because she'll post fleeces that are available, and sometimes you can jump on them. This one right here is a lamb fleece I bought last year from her. And you see, it's been sitting in the bag in my stash room, and it's still very fresh feeling, it's not tacky at all. Isn't it pretty? And this is how this one washes up. I've got it right here. So this is how the locks washed up. They washed up a little shorter. You know, that's typical with fine fleeces. It happened with my CVM in particular. The fleece lock here on the unwashed was a little bit longer than the one that was washed. But this is the washed. And then I combed this into these little nests. These, you guys, these are so soft. They feel like a cotton ball. You can tell I get super excited when I work with fleece. I started these two spindles with that. So not really far, it's white. You know, these two spindles are from Elizabeth Daly, green sleeve spindles. I highly recommend Elizabeth spindles. They're beautifully balanced, and they're really, really pretty to look at. She was kind enough. I've ordered so many of hers. I got two here. Wait, it kind of reminds me. No, never mind. So yeah, so I pulled that out, And I'm super excited about getting back into my my fleece washing. Oh, what other fleece have I been working on? Another one of my favorite shepherds is Aspendale Farm on Etsy. She sells Romney and Romney Cross fleeces, and right now she has a lot of fleeces available, and I'm so tempted to buy another one, but I don't have room, and I don't need another one. I still have not processed the fleeces that I bought from her before, but I thought you'd be interested to see this. This is the washed fleece from, I think her name was Honey Bear, and it's a Romney cross, and it's so silky. It's got these blonde tips. It has very open wave structure, as you can see. So it is not a fine wool, so it's considered a long wool, and it's one of the finest long wool breeds there are. And I have been pulling out locks here, and then combing them. This would be perfect for just flick carding. So when you flick card, I think you've seen people flick card before, but basically you just brush out the tips and the butt end, and then you spin either from the tip end or the cut end, or you can spin from the fold. I have a tiny little skein that I finished, and I mean tiny. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm spindle spinning, I have a short attention span. So I'll start spinning and I'll get, a couple spindles worth or a little bit, and then I kind of lose interest. So I'm trying to make a concerted effort to make little mini skeins out of what I have spun as little samples. So I made these little guys. So this is the fleece I was just mentioning here. One of the things I noticed about this fleece right away, well, first of all, it's very dense. It's very heavy. It feels heavy. It feels weighty. So I think that this fleece would, this yarn is going to create a fabric that has a lot of drape. I also think that if you're a weaver, it would be excellent warp, because the warp in weaving, I understand that must be very, very strong, and this is really, really strong. So this was my little mini skein. I mean mini, right? Tiny little thing here. So I'm kind of getting a kick out of making these, making these little tinies, kind of like, fear of commitment spinning, right? Oh. So what else did I want to talk about today? I showed you my fleeces. Talked about the Corriedale. All right, so last week I mentioned that I showed off some CVM stash, handspun stash, and I think I found a pattern. I thought I'd ask your opinion on what you think of this pattern. For the, I don't have the name of the pattern, but I'll put it here. I'll put it here as a title here. It's for sport weight yarn. And what I was thinking of doing is making this pattern using my black, or it's actually not black, but it's dark brown Corriedale here for the body. And then, like I mentioned last week, using these 3 shades. I've got balls of yarn just everywhere here. Well, here are 2 of the other colors, but I showed you these last week. So that's what I'm thinking of doing. Oh, here's the other one. I'm literally on the floor surrounded by fiber. I'm kind of in heaven, right? So yeah, I'm going to take these and I'm going to make this pattern when I get around to it. So. All right, as far as knitting goes, I really haven't made too much progress on my knitting, just a few more rows. Oh, with my Felix cardigan, I've got the 2 inches of, actually I'll go get it real quick. So here's my Felix cardigan. And here I can even put it on. Yes, sweater on a sweater. It's a very good look, eh? So you can see that I have the ribbing done here, but I am perseverating here. I'm trying to figure out the sewn bind off that's recommended in the pattern. And of course there's YouTube videos and I've watched them. Yeah, I got myself all tied up here. Anyway, I watched the videos and I just have to get the nerve. I mean, it's no big deal. If it goes awry, I can just rip it out and try again, right? But you know how you get to that stage in a project where you have to do the next thing, but you have to learn how to do the next thing before you can do it. That's kind of where I am with my cardigan here. So if you have any good suggestions or good YouTube videos for the sewn tubular bind off, that would be awesome. So that's all I wanted to talk about today so far. If you're interested in having a peek at my handspun stash, stick around. I'm going to do that in the next segment. And if you're not interested, that's fine. We'll see you next week. I really appreciate your company this afternoon. I hope you're all well and you're staying safe and you get some time to do the things that you love doing. Stay safe, everyone, and we'll talk to you very soon. Hello everybody, this is Lisa over at Soulful Spinning, and this is a little Soulful Spinning extra. I pulled out some of my handspun stash and I wanted to share it with you guys today. I'm welcoming any suggestions on what I might do with this. This is just a small portion of my handspun. This was some of my very, very first spinning on my big wheel. basket. This is Romney. You can see I've got quite a bit of bulky. I got quite a bit of bulky yarn here, which I was surprised. Anybody have a suggestion for a pattern for bulky yarn? Here's some more that's bulky. Here's some crazy art yarn, spiral plied yarn I made. Make a nice accent or fringe, I think. This here is a Romney, 3-ply Romney, 100% Romney. I don't know if you can see the halo on this. Some more Romney. Some bond. This was one of my very first hand spun here. You can see how lumpy and bumpy it was. I should really use it. This was the little This is also some roving from it's a lemon yellow. It's so pretty. I think it'd make a darling little baby jacket or blanket. Here's some more yarn from drum carded. Now this is early hand spun. It's like an archaeological dig. The further down the basket I go, the further back in time I go. Here was one of my very first skeins, little samples that I made. Hand carded spindle spun Romney. And I think that's this basket. Oh, crazy. This doesn't even look like yarn. This is core spun mohair. This is Baby Doll South Down, and I have 3 skeins of this. I would say this is again some bulky yarn. I think this could be paired up with some of my solid color hand spun for a project. What do you think? Here are some other single skeins that I have. This is like some crazy singles I made with some silk neps in there. Got the green here. Got this green yarn. This was all spindle spun. This is also a spindle spun. This is yes, Inglenook Fibers, asters. I did this on my Turkish spindles. You can hardly get a hold of her fiber now. She's so popular. This is from Julie Spins, Polworth Silk Mohair. Pretty. I gotta do something with this. Some greens. I do like the greens. This is some BFL. And this is some more BFL. And this is my art yarn stash. This is lock spinning. One more thing I wanted to mention, you guys. I was thinking it'd be fun to do a hashtag handspun stash, hashtag soulful spinning. Why don't you take pictures of your handspun stash, put it on Instagram, tag me, I'm the Soulful Spinner on Instagram, and again, just hashtag handspun stash soulful spinning. I would love to see your handspun stash. All right, we'll talk to you real soon. Bye.